Hi, my name is Billy, and this is my story. I've had Jesus in my life my entire life. I was baptized at birth. I was raised in a Catholic household. I went to church every Sunday with my parents. Unfortunately, about the time when I was like 15, my parents went through a really nasty divorce. And I was very unhappy in life, very sad, didn't really have a personality to myself, didn't really know who I was or what I wanted to do in life. So at 18, I enlisted in the Army. I went out to Germany, 19 years old. I started drinking. I drank every single one of my problems away. I became an even worse person to be around. I became just so enshrouded with hate and sadness, and I was so depressed. I was in such a dark hole. I continued to drink and drink and drink, and then one day, eventually I got a wake-up call to at least my drinking habits, that I got a DUI. I ended up taking leave to come down probably in 2022. My dad had been going through really bad health problems, and he got in a bad motorcycle accident. My dad told me to come to church with him. You know, he'd like to see me in church. And I came here, and I just felt something I can only correlate to as the Holy Spirit coming down in here and really in this church. I've never felt it anywhere else besides this church. I felt so connected, so welcome from the second I walked in the door. I was like, this is a place I want to go on Sunday. In March of 2023, I got a call from one of my buddies. He was just talking about, oh man, God's been so great in my life, and that and the third. And he was saying, oh, you should really go to church, and he's been doing so good. And all I do, I read the Bible, and it's like it's doing wonders for me. He said, you should really go into how's your life with Jesus. And I was like, oh, I go to church. You know, I just kind of brushed it off as like, okay, he's just checking up on me. And I never took that as a sign until the next day I woke up, and there was a pamphlet shoved in my door at my apartment complex. I woke up to go to work, opened up the door, boom, on the ground, face up. The choice is yours, heaven or hell. And I was like, that is the most definitive way that you could probably ever get through to me. They're like, all right, God, what do we need to do? I was gonna make that change. I was gonna choose heaven. Ever since then, I could really say that I haven't had any depression. The drinking does not control me anymore by far. God has definitely graced me with that I just don't feel sad anymore. I've found who I am, and who I am is a follower of Christ. And I want to embody myself like that for the rest of my life, as I've never felt this way about anything. I've never felt this compelled to do anything. And ever since then, he just opened up doorways. I can't explain it any other way, that God's just opened up doorways for me. Baptism is very important for me, because I want it to be known that this isn't my parents' decision. This isn't anyone else's decision besides mine. And I've chosen to do this based off of my experiences, based off of my choice. I've already given my life to God. Hopefully someone hears my testimony in the stage, whether they're dealing with alcoholism, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideations, thoughts, whatever it is. God has helped me with that. God has taken that away from me. I don't struggle with that anymore. And I've seen the tremendous things that God has done, and not just my dad's life, but everyone's life in this church. And I just hope that, in hopes that my story might touch someone.